Have you ever asked yourself what is a short sale versus a foreclosure? You come to the right place, although the answer may not be what you're expecting. Hi, I'm Dohn Thornton. I'm the short sale guy. I have done well over 1,500 short sales in my 20-year career here in Florida, and now I'm expanding my short sale business nationwide. So let's get into it. Let's talk about what this is. Now, a short sale is basically a mortgage company sponsored or invented technique or strategy that allows a homeowner to sell their house at a price less than what is owed on the to the bank. For example, let's say that the homeowner owes $200,000 on a mortgage, but it's only worth $170,000. So they are $30,000 upside down or underwater, whichever way you want to describe it. So they cannot sell their property with a full payoff because no one's going to buy a property $30,000 higher than what it's worth. So this a short sale is the way that, or the program that the banks have invented to be able to let those homeowners in those situations sell their property. The way it works is that a buyer like myself, for example, we could negotiate with the bank to try to get them to take a lesser payoff depending on what value will be given on the transaction. And that's negotiations that are done between the buyer and the bank themselves. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that the bank allows it to be sold at the $170,000 amount or purchase price, and then the $30,000 that's owed on it will be written off and forgiven, and the bank also will pay all the closing costs for the homeowner. So it's actually a pretty good deal for the homeowner. So that's what a short sale is, and it's very, like I said, it's a very good technique that allows people to get out from under their a foreclosure, or not even a foreclosure, just get out from under a upside down loan. And it's good for the banks because they know that they will get more money, that will take less of a loss on a short sale than they will if they have to do something else, like a deed in lieu of foreclosure, or if it goes to foreclosure auction. Okay, so if you enjoy this kind of education that I'm bringing you in my videos, I would encourage you to go down and click the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the notifications button as well, so that way whenever I have a new video drop, you can get notified and make sure you can watch it, because I'm basically giving you 20 years worth of knowledge that I've accumulated in my business all these years. So I think you'll find it valuable. Let's talk now about foreclosure. What is a foreclosure? Well, basically, a foreclosure is the procedure, the legal procedure that allows a mortgage company to get their collateral back. So if you remember, when you bought the property, you signed a promissory note, which is a promise to pay. You promise to pay them according to the terms of the note. The mortgage is actually the instrument that ties or collateralizes your house to that note, which means that, of course, the bank, if you don't pay and they're not able to work any kind of a workout program with you to be able to try to mitigate the situation or help you, give you time, a modification, a forbearance, whatever you want to call it, then the only recourse the mortgage company has is to file a foreclosure. And it depends on what state you're in as to how that's done. Now, it's roughly about 50-50 on what states have what they call a judicial foreclosure and the ones that have a non-judicial foreclosure. Florida is a judicial state. That means the bank has to hire an attorney and file a foreclosure action in the courts, and it goes to the courts, and the judge is the one that at the end of the process sets a foreclosure auction date, and the house is sold at the courthouse steps in a foreclosure auction. And at that point in time, the buyer is given a certificate of title, and then after 10 days, it depends on which state, but generally speaking, it's 10 days, and then that the owner, the new owner, actually has title to the property, and it's deeded over that way through the foreclosure auction. Okay, now in a non-judicial state, the banks don't have to go through the courts. They can choose to if they want, but usually they don't because it's less expensive, right? So they all they have to do is just basically notify the homeowner that it's going to be foreclosed on, and then I think there's usually like a 30-day notification in the courts, but that's pretty much just a just a courtesy, but it's pretty much all done privately. So that's a foreclosure, which, again, to review, means that it's the means that the bank is able to get its collateral back and take ownership of a property because the homeowner has not paid the mortgage for more than 90 days usually. Okay. Now, I'd like to ask you a question. if that's something that's new for you, or if you have any comments about it, I would love if you could go down to the comments section below and leave me a comment. I love to engage with people that are interested in the subject because it's my passion. You know, I got into this in my 30s. I'm now in my late 50s, and I love real estate. I love foreclosures. I love to educate people about what's going on because it's just terrifying to me how little people know about their rights. And they think that the banks have upper hands. They really don't, but that's a whole different video to do. But yeah, leave me a comment. I would love that. So how are short sales and foreclosures connected? Because a lot of people believe that you can only do a short sale if you're in foreclosure. And that's absolutely not true. In fact, I have done many short sales for homeowners who are not in foreclosure. And they're even current on their existing mortgage. They're just upside down. So it was more difficult to do that, say 20 years ago when I first got started. But now it's actually really very common. In fact, you don't even have to be behind on your mortgage to be able to do a short sale. The only thing that has to be done, you have to qualify for, is if the property is upside down and the bank wants to see that you will have a genuine financial hardship that would require you to, to do a short sale. In other words, they're not just going to say, okay, you can have it, whatever. You have to show that there is a hardship, but it's not nearly as strenuous or restrictive as it was, even 5-7 years ago. So that is a difference. So a short sale, homeowner can sell the property for less than a full payoff. Foreclosure is when the bank goes to court, or, if it's a non-judicial state, they can just go ahead and notify you within 30 days that they're going to sell it at the foreclosure auction. And that's how they get the property back. And I hope that was illuminating for you. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you.